In this video today, guys, we are going to be talking about the Arsenal ratings that I think each player deserves in FIFA 20. I still can't believe I'm saying FIFA 20. It's just unreal to me. It feels like just the other week FIFA 14 came out, but we are here and, you know, it's that time of year when everyone starts thinking about who's going to be good in FIFA 20, what kind of ratings we're going to see, what kind of potentials we'll see in career mode. Now, the stats you're seeing on screen right now are their current ratings in head-to-head or career mode, basically. These are the latest up-to-date stats, and I've got to say, there's going to be a lot of downgrades. There really is. So I'm going to go through the main team, which is on the left side, and we're kind of in a 4-2-3-1 formation here, which I would expect us to be playing next season. And then we'll go into the players that don't quite make it into the first team, although some of them probably should be. Let's go ahead and start off with the goalkeeper. We have Leno. I'm actually going to leave him as he is. I think he was one of our better players last season, but does he deserve an upgrade? I don't know. I feel like there are keepers that are better than him at around the same rating. So I think I'm inclined to leave him as an 83, although maybe 84 would be okay. You guys can let me know in the comments what your opinions are, but I think Leno had a very good season, but it wasn't spectacular, and I don't think it's worthy of an upgrade, if I'm honest. We'll go into defence now. Socrates is going to be the first player to receive an update, and it's going to be a downgrade. I think 83 is probably about right for Socrates. I think he has been good for us. He's been a good signing. However, I think he was better at the start of the season than he was at the end. If anything, towards the end, he was a little bit unreliable, actually. I feel like a lot of performances he made up, or he papered over a lot of cracks by doing these passionate tackles, and he throws his hands up in the air when he wins the ball. When actually, if you look closely, some of his positional awareness has been questionable, I would say. Let's do Holding next, because he's actually going to get an upgrade for me. 76 isn't quite fair. I feel like before he got injured, he was our best centre-back, and that's not saying much, because of course our main problem is our defence. But I'm going to go ahead and give Holding a 2 upgrade. I think 78 would be more than fair in the new game, and maybe a potential of 85, something like that. I do think Holding has a great future ahead of him. Whether or not it's going to be at Arsenal, I mean, who knows these days, but I'm really excited to see him back from injury. Up next, let's go with Bellerin. I'm going to keep him as an 80. Again, he was doing well before he got injured. How can you upgrade or downgrade a player that just simply hasn't played? So Bellerin will stay as he is. Now, Kolasinac, I'm not so sure has had a very good season. I feel like there is definitely a lot of better options out there, and that's why we're looking at Tierney, for example, which looks to be a deal that could be done. So I'm actually going to go ahead and downgrade Kolasinac to a 79. I cannot believe this guy has been linked with Barcelona. You have to be kidding me. Kolasinac as a defender is poor. Kolasinac as an attacker is okay. I think it's doable. If he's a left mid or a left wing back, whatever, it works a little bit more in his favour, because defensively he's just a little bit wobbly. His final ball is often poor. His crossing is often non-existent in terms of accuracy. And he's one of the main reasons I think we definitely need to look at improving our defence. At that left side with Monreal as backup as well, it's not great, is it? Now, Tarara, I'm going to... That's a difficult one, isn't it? Because, again, similar to Socrates, started off well. I thought Tarara was able to really get stuck in. You know, it took him a little bit of time to really break into the team as our first team player, and we didn't really start with him. In fact, Guendouzi was starting ahead of him, which at the time was blowing my mind. But Tarara, I feel like he could have had a better season, but I don't blame him at all. And I'll talk about the rumours of him leaving for AC Milan in a second, but I feel like he wasn't bad at all, and considering it was his first year in England, fine. You know, it was a good season by those standards. However, this guy is meant to be our defensive midfielder, right? And I feel like he was a bit of a pushover, and he needs to, although he's short, he needs to be stronger. And I know that's crazy, because, I mean, what can he do up against a 6'4" midfielder? Like, what's he going to do? But honestly, I've seen short players like him in the past do better physically, and I would like to see an improvement. But the links with him going to AC Milan, I believe, are total nonsense. I don't think it's fair at all to say that he wants to leave just because of some of those comments he made about the weather and about Italy being, you know, a nicer place to live. Well, no shit, you know, obviously Italy's a nicer place to live. So I personally don't believe there's anything there, but you just never know in football these days. If we were to sell Tarara, I'd want 50 million minimum. Okay, we've only just had him a year. We bought him for around that 30 mark. You have to pay over the odds to get him. I'm going to leave him as an 82 though. Granite Shocker, I think actually 81's pretty fair. In a good game, I'd say Xhaka is an above average centre midfielder for a Premier League side. He's more than capable of playing for Arsenal, but when he's having a bad game, oh my god, it's embarrassing. Because of that lack of mobility, it's quite shocking sometimes. But I do think 81 is probably about right. Mesut Ozil has an 85 rating right now. I would drop that to an 84 for the upcoming game. I think Mesut Ozil's had a very poor season. There was the odd performance that stood out, Leicester at home, for example, and in those games, he's one of the very best in the world, but it doesn't happen enough. He's inconsistent, he's getting older now, and we're paying him too much money. We can't sell him. I think 84 is probably where he should be. Iwobi is going to get an upgrade, though. I'm going to go ahead and say 79. I think that he's not quite good enough to receive an 80 upgrade. I don't think he's quite that level yet. However, I think 79 is probably about right. I would definitely improve his potential, which, let me just double check. Iwobi has a potential of 83. I think maybe that's a little bit on the low end because I think he does have the potential to be a really good player, but we just don't see it often enough, do we? But 79 and 84, 85 maybe? Over to Aubameyang, who I've got on this left side for this video. I don't think you can fairly downgrade him, even though I don't think he performed that brilliantly. He was our top scorer, don't get me wrong. He won the Golden Boot along with Salah and Mane. 3 African players doing their job really well in the Premier League, scoring loads of goals. But I think 88, it is a bit high, if I'm being honest. I genuinely feel like that there are better players that are 87, 86. So although I'm going to leave it as it is, I want you guys to know that I actually don't think 88 is about right. But purely because he doesn't deserve a downgrade, I can't really touch it, can I? However, Lacazette, for me, was our best player. Absolutely no question. And deserves an upgrade, for sure. Now, would you put him on the same level as Aubameyang? Maybe not. But I would go ahead and give him an 87. I feel like he's just off the level of Aubameyang, but he's not far off. And I think 87 is probably about fair. So that's what I think the team should be next season. If anything, I'd give Aubameyang an 87 as well, but I don't think that's going to happen after the season he's had. So now we're going to move on to, in my opinion, the harder and more interesting ratings, because we've got a few young players coming through right now, the future of Arsenal, if you will, and a lot of them, I think, have got pretty poor ratings considering how well they've done. So first, we've got Bielik, who, by the way, has been amazing for Poland recently. And I'm really hoping that we're going to give him a chance in this upcoming season. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. But he was really good for Charlton this season, helping them gain promotion. He's been very good for Poland in the championship right now that they're playing. So I would absolutely upgrade him. The question is where does he go? Okay, so if we look at other ratings here, Emi Martinez is 74. Guendouzi is 74. Deserves an upgrade, by the way. Nelson is 72. I think, if anything, Bielik is almost at that 72 kind of mark. But is that too much of an upgrade? I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in a 72. Let me know what you guys think. Next, we've got Willock. Now, Willock, I actually think he is one of our better young players. He shows great intuitive going forward as an attacking player. Gets a lot of goals. So I would like to see a pretty big upgrade for Willock. I'd actually put him ahead of Emile Smith-Rowe at this point. He's shown more. And Katia maybe same level as him. So I'd be looking to at least see maybe a 69 or a 70. I'm going to go with 69. And no, I'm not doing it because it's 69. Grow up. I'm doing it because I think that probably is about fair. Maybe even 70. With Smith-Rowe, I'd also go with 69. I think that's probably a fair rating for him. He didn't really get to show us what he can do out on loan. Picked up an injury. I think he will have a better season next year, or next season. Next, we've got Katia. Now, finally got a goal in the Premier League at the end of the season against Burnley. What does he deserve? That's a tough one. I might need to come back to Katia. These youngsters are very difficult to put a rating on. They really are. I think maybe a 70. Maybe a 70. I think that might be about right, you know. And with Nelson, I'm tempted to say 74 or 75. How far off Iwobi is he? I don't think he's that far off. So again, I'm going to use other ratings to help me here. I think I'm going to go with 75 for Nelson. I think he is that good. I think he's definitely good enough to be one of our backup wingers for sure next season. Maybe one of our wingers that plays a lot, because Aubameyang isn't necessarily a great winger. He can play there, but I don't know. Oh, on to my favourite player. By the way, if you subscribe to me on Twitch, you officially become a Mustafi fan. It's the Mustafi fan club right now. That's what I'm calling it. So if you do enjoy watching people play games on Twitch, then please do consider watching me. I play Football Manager. I've been playing the new F1 game, which I managed to get early. I'm going to be doing some other things as well, some golf with friends or whatever it's called. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. The link is down below. But let's talk about Mustafi, shall we? We're going to go down to 79. Shouldn't be an 80 rated defender. I think anything less than 79 is a bit harsh. He actually made some good challenges and tackles throughout the season, but also made quite a lot of blocks and clearances. There were games where he wasn't terrible, but it's just the glaringly obvious errors that he made that just everyone remembers, right? Monreal, I'm going to go ahead and downgrade as well to a 79. These are easy. Mkhitaryan gets downgraded to 81. Mavropanos, I think 68 is actually a fair rating. I wouldn't put him any higher than that or any lower. Maitland Niles was one of our main players last season. He was so important to replace Bellerin down that right side. And actually, I'd be tempted to give him a 76. I think he's worthy of that, you know. Koscielny, I would drop down to an 81. Jenkinson, I mean, I don't think he's even going to be at the club. He's linked with a move to, I think he might be being looked at by Celtic at this point. And also West Brom, I think we're interested. And Stoke, if I remember correctly. 69 is probably fair, but just because it's Carl Jenkinson, we're going to go ahead and reduce it. I feel a bit bad about that, actually. No, we're not going to do that. He stays where he is. He hasn't improved. He hasn't declined. He hasn't played much. Next, we have Guendouzi, who, I don't know how I feel about Guendouzi. I know he's going to be a future star. He is, okay? He's of that calibre. He will be a future star. But right now, where would I rate him? 74 is a good rating, considering when he joined, he was in the 60s. However, is he on the same level as someone like Maitland Niles, who I've given a 76? Arguably, no, and I would say maybe a 75. I think that's probably about fair. Martinez, I'd stick with 74. El Neni, I would stick with 77. And Chambers, I think I would stick with 75. So I think we're there. I think I'm happy with those ratings. Let me know what you guys think. What ratings would you give these players? You can see we are heavily attack focused with our ratings, aren't we? A lot of our better players are obviously forward players. But defensively, if we can bring in, I think we're looking at Saliba right now, who would be loaned back for a season. £30 million apparently. So we wouldn't even have him for next year. But that makes me think we have got more money than we think, and that we will be doing more business. And hopefully it would be Tierney at left back. I know we're going to be using Holding next season. I know Socrates is still a big part. Koscielny linked with a move to Lyon. Monreal could be leaving. Mustafi might be leaving. There's so many players yet to go. I'm actually surprised we haven't done any proper business yet, even though we're weeks into the window now. It's just too slow for my liking, but I think suddenly, poof, things are going to happen. The new kit comes out on July 1st, and I think that could be tied in with a new signing, because obviously selling kits is such a massive thing for clubs in terms of bringing in more money. And what better way to show off a new kit than having your fresh new signing wearing it? So who knows, maybe we will see Saliba, Carrasco, Tierney wearing that new kit on the 1st of July, and we'll be seeing posts about it from the official Twitter. But until then, this is our team for next season, and these are the ratings I would give them. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like. Make sure you follow me on Twitch and Twitter as well, guys. All the links are below, and I will see you next time.